Sleep is a superpower and strategic advantage when used correctly. I say that about everything because we can take anything and use it incorrectly and not get the results that we want. Or we can use it correctly. We can apply the technique, the tool, the strategy, whatever, the right way to our business and gain a huge competitive advantage. So today we are, of course, talking about sleep as part of day 156 of our Supersize Your Business annual challenge. Physical is one of the 9 life framework areas, and that's what we're focusing on, a different physical related topic each day this month. Doing the same thing in the Supersize You annual challenge. Now, why does this work? Because all of our businesses are run by human beings. We are human beings. We as founders and educators and business owners and operators and entrepreneurs, we as humans have to live by the same standards and guidelines that all other humans do. That means we need to eat right, we need to move our bodies, we need to take care of ourselves, and we need to sleep. Now, it's recommended that you get an average of 7 to 9 hours sleep every single night, depending on you. And I say you need to use yourself as your own science experiment and figure out what's best for you. I function really, really well on 6 to 7 hours of sleep. I have for my entire life. I've always been a super early morning person, and I'm that way to this day. I usually get up at 4:30, and that's when I start my day. It's why I create my content first thing in the morning, because I'm a morning person. I have the most energy and the most drive to create in the mornings. But that's because I've gotten some sleep. Now, theoretically, if I go to bed at 4, if I get up at 4, I should go to bed at 8 o'clock at night to get 8 hours sleep or so. Do I do that? No, I don't. I can't imagine, especially in the summer in Wisconsin. We have such a short summer season. There's no way if it's light outside I'm going to bed yet. I don't even think my granddaughter's getting bed. It's easier in the wintertime when it's dark by like 5 o'clock to get them in bed by 8:30. But otherwise, it's a battle. Remember when my kids were little, same thing. But back then, when I was in corporate America, and I think what we need to do as businesses is we need to stop encouraging lack of sleep, pulling all-nighters, the hustle culture. The older I get, and even when I was younger, I didn't like it. Would I go along with it because I was the only woman in the company? Yes. But did I think it was right, or did it feel right to me? No. And did I push back on it? Maybe. Yes, I did. Because I knew it wasn't good for any of us long term. We had a boss in one of my jobs, I'm not going to say which one, in one of my corporate jobs, we had a boss that had these what-if scenarios, and he would come up with them the last minute, really when it was time to go home from work, and he would say, I got this what-if, I want to present it to Larry, his boss, tomorrow at our one-on-one meeting. I need you guys to figure out and do all of this calculating and all of this, and this was before the internet. We had computers, but very few people knew how to use them. I luckily did, but it was still, I had a huge department, and to figure out all the what-ifs and all the scenarios and all the questions that he asked, we ended up staying usually all night at work. And then we still were expected to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed the next morning to run our departments. Now, some of us had 3-shift departments, so they were used to seeing us at all bedraggledness on some days, but they always knew that it was one of those days that our boss had asked us for, I'm not even going to say his name, had asked us for one of these what-if scenarios. And after about the 5th or 6th one, I was like, seriously? And I went in and talked to him. I said, this isn't right, because nothing ever came from any of them. I think that the years that I worked there, we did about 10 times, which is, 10 times too many, 9 times too many for sure. But not a single time that we did that did our boss's boss ever want to pursue it. Never, ever, not once. So all of us department heads were working to make our boss look good to our vice president, and all that did was mean we were like exhausted for the next 3 days. Excuse me. Sleep is when our body heals itself, which is why I've been napping this week. We need sleep to allow our body to recharge itself. Our body only heals when we are sleeping, when we are down, when we are recharging our batteries. I call it recharging our batteries. The more energetic you are during the day, I think the more important it is that you actually recharge your batteries every day and get sleep. It's when everything happens and our body regulates itself. It's when we consolidate our memories. It's when we have the opportunity to regulate our hormones, detoxify our brain. Do you know what? Our brain gets a whole lot of toxic junk thrown at it every single day, and it's when we're sleeping that our brain can sort through, and our subconscious can say, well, that's garbage. We're going to put that in the tuck it away and don't even think about it part of our brain. And this is awesome. We're going to put this and file it where we can retrieve it when we need it, because this is great. This is a great tool for problem solving or whatever it might be that we ran across during the day. But our brain needs rest. When we're sleep deprived, and I've seen this in myself and in people throughout the different organizations I've worked for and with throughout the many decades I've been around, it impairs their judgment. People that have not had enough sleep have impaired judgment. They're emotional, they are deregulated, they make bad decisions and bad choices, and they make mistakes. They're more at risk for disease. They're more at risk for weight gain. The heaviest I was in my life was when I was sleep deprived. And sick, as a matter of fact. Ill, literally physically ill and sleep deprived, partially because they were combined. It weakens our immune system. Our immune system, our bodies need, it's like the movie, what's that movie? Surrogates. You have to recharge your surrogate every night, just like we need to recharge our bodies every night. So sleep should be a non-negotiable for us. And we need to be our own science experiment to figure out exactly how much sleep we need. I have played with this a lot for myself, and I know 6 to 7 hours is perfect for me, which a lot of people need more than that. I have friends that need 8 to 10 hours sleep every single night, or they just can't function. And that's okay. They just have to do what's right for them, and you have to do what's right for you. But how many of us want well-rested, clear-thinking, on top of their game people working with us to build and grow our business? I sure do. I want everybody to be at their best. And so we want to do things and set things up in our organization to make that possible. And the best thing we can do is be a good role model. Set the example for other people. Not act like all-nighters and the hustle culture is the way to exist. Has it been in the past? Is it necessary now? I would contend that struggling and suffering and hustling are all optional. And I get a lot of pushback from this from other business leaders, but it's absolutely true. If we are demanding more than is humanly possible from ourselves and from our people, we are playing a very short-term game. Do we need to do that for different pushes and we're doing different things in our business for short periods of time? Yeah, you would probably do. If you're courting a great big client that you really want to land, maybe you have to put in extra time and energy. But it's got to be a short-term focused. It can't be an ongoing basis, or people will have sudden cardiac arrests or heart attacks and just not be here anymore. All right, so what's our action item today? Our action item today is simple. In the comments below, put what time you're going to go to bed tonight and commit to going to bed at that time tonight. I'm going to commit to 11 o'clock. And I'm going to sleep in until 5 tomorrow. So that will give me my 6 hours sleep. What time will you go to bed? Share in the comments below. Share your thoughts on this. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. And think about the culture that has been created in your organization right now. It's never too late to change. Do we have good and bad in all of our lives and all of our cultures? Absolutely. But who can change that better than us as the leader of the organization? Nobody. We set the example. We set the pace. Speed of the pack is always determined by the speed of the leader. We can pretend it isn't, but if you're a parent, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Go out, make it an amazing day. If I can help you in any way, ask. Like I said, under the weather, but still here moving. So just reach out. I'd also like to invite you to, I'm putting together a multi-industry mastermind starting July 1st. It's going to be a 90-day, maybe 120-day. We're going to play it by ear program. And I want to show the power of having different industries come together and help one another to grow and scale and become what they want to be, to supersize, of course. If you'd like to be a part of that, I'll be sending out posts and DMs and inviting people. There's a few key people I'd love to have join me in that. let me know. Otherwise, I put a post up yesterday. I'm way behind because I was really down and out this week. I think the cold caught me off guard, but dizzy and coughing up a lung and cough pearls, boy, do those help. All right, have an amazing day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.